He's still gonna ask us for help.
There was really no matter of consequence for such history detectives such as us.
Right. What are you playing next?
More detectives.
So,
yeah.
I was tempted to correct the statement in question. Bill said we beat Sherlock. We didn't beat Sherlock. We succeeded in one of the mysteries.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
There's still 8 mysteries.
Got it.
No,
Okay.
but we did better than him.
Yeah. So.
I scored higher. So there are 2 metrics for success in that game. Either you solve the mystery, or if you solve the mystery, I guess there's really just sort of a bonus criteria. Sherlock is always assumed to have scored 100 points. And then based on how well you did, better or worse compared to his path to solving the mystery, you were scored a number of points.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yes. And through some Shinsanery and Victorian London era math, I believe we won.
Okay, so you beat the character Sherlock at the mystery.
We supposedly did a better job figuring out the circumstances of what happened than he did. Now, it points to sort of a problem with the game that I find, which is, really just the most, banal sort of nitpick.
Sure, which is my favorite kind.
Yeah. So the game scores you based on efficiency.
Right.
But it is entirely a story and narrative-based game. And the entire point is you get to pass around this manual with your friends and read funny accents and learn bits of information. Maybe they're immediately relevant to your taste, but maybe they're about these interesting side characters that are richly written about. And someone took the time to come up with these great red herrings that legitimately make you wonder, should we be following this lead? Should we be chasing after this information? And there's all this great stuff there. And really, you want to read every bit of it. You want to spend as much time as you can in this world together, digging up little bits and pieces. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the bonus questions have to do with side circumstances, things that secondary and tertiary characters are doing, off in the wings that aren't immediately relevant to what's going on, but show that you are capable of observation and deduction. That's really what the game should be scoring on.
Right.
As such, I don't really place an enormous amount of stock in whether we scored higher or Sherlock or not.
Right.
Simply because visiting more locations than maybe deducts points from you. But I want to visit everywhere. After the cameras stopped last week, we just
read a bunch of them.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
The game mechanics kind of go contrary to that. They kind of want you to quickly get it done so that you can...
I get why they did it that way, because that earnestly feels like a Sherlock kind of thing, where it's with the absolute minimum of information, I figured out exactly who did it. Mm-hmm. But given the experience, I don't think it's bad that it's there. I just choose to ignore it.
Yeah.
But I still want to win.
Sure.
Because that's all that counts.
Winning is the best.
It's true.
I've never done it, so I don't know.
Well, maybe you'll have your chance today.
Well, speaking of winning,
That seems real likely.
do we want to go into the recap of how
Sure.
we
You guys
didn't win?
won last time we got together, right?
Yeah.
I seem to remember.
I mean, we got rid of Marvin
Killed the dragon.
and Fat Wizard. That was a win.
I mean, Marvin's dead. Which means
And Fat
maybe
Wizard's
he's
gone.
dead.
It's like double
yeah.
win.
Yeah,
So these 2 characters failed quest objectives immediately.
There may have been a dragon, but we're skipping ahead a little
it
bit.
was one of these kinds of things where you could have killed the final boss of the game as soon as you started the campaign, but no one thought.
Oh, if we were in New Game Plus?
No, I mean, Marvin was there the first session. If someone had just had the foresight to just go,
He actually almost did die, and Toria saved his life.
time's over.
My first instinct was to murder Marvin.
Let's all go around the table and share our favorite Marvin moments.
I'm going to need more than a minute to think about it.
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna have to say when we tried to raise the child from the dead.
That was amazing. Why specifically?
Well, as
did
an
you-
undead.
Why did you choose a child? Do I recall?
Why did he?
He said because-
we were exploring
He thought it'd be easier.
He said he thought
Oh, yeah.
mine would be easier to manipulate.
Yeah.
Exactly correct.
He said as if this made it less evil.
Yeah, that made a lot of sense.
I mean, it did.
Wait, his character was evil? No. Sorry.
A tiny bit.
Just a little.
My favorite was when you guys were being chased by dinosaurs, while on the back of
I
another
remember.
dinosaur, and he did like a flying leap in order to make the distance for a lightning bolt. Killed the Tyrannosaurus Rex with the lightning bolt. Rolled wild magic and somehow hit fly.
Oh yeah.
And then Superman soared off into the sky.
For the record, literally a 2% chance.
Wow.
It was exactly a 2% chance.
No, you know what? I think it might have been the Witch Queen, the halfling Witch Queen. 'Cause I think Zathis actually like stabbed the T-Rex's brain.
Yeah.
Might have been, but either way, he took down what he was attacking and he got
was
it
gonna bite the
ridiculously.
dirt. He was going to take so much damage. Instead, he just flew away and winked.
That's infuriating.
It was great.
Man, I couldn't hate that scene more.
Jeff, what was yours? Because I think mine might have been yours. But I just want to see what yours is first.
Oh, geez, my favorite Marvin moment. Ooh. Yeah, buddy.
Hello.
No,
That was his.
I don't know if I would say favorite, but definitely what I consider the most like, thanks Polo, iconic or like character telling moment was within the first game that I played here. He put my character into unconsciousness with a spell. Like literally on the second encounter we played together, and he knocked me unconscious
That
with a
was
fireball.
the Yarmouth room.
It was.
My favorite moment was when you got mind controlled.
Oh,
You
that
thought
was
you were stealing his mask,
my
and
least
he tried
favorite
his
thing.
absolute hardest to kill you, and everyone else was trying their hardest to make him not kill you.
And then he got arrested.
And then he got
Sent to
arrested
pumpkin
and
jail.
lost an eye.
Yeah, that was one of perhaps my favorite moments of like, I thought the campaign was gonna go this way.
Yeah.
Instead,
Now, my favorite part of that whole setup was the flumps just trying desperately
we're on fire.
to fly away, and all the Templars were shooting spells at
Of
them,
course,
and they're just
they thought
like,
they were alien monsters.
like
Hideous magic creatures!
Yeah, this
They
is
thought
the
they
worst
were responsible.
dimension I've ever been to.
Oh man, it was some good times.
I think my favorite Marvin moment, although calling it a moment might be a stretch, is that, you know, and Torio and him had kind of, you know, not been in each other's throats. We were kind of in opposition for Hugs, and Torio was kind of this serious-minded guy. He's like, why don't you defile more? It gives you more power. And Torio finally gets used to it, and then Cade comes onto the scene, and Cade's going through exactly the same thing, and Torio's like, you'll get used to it.
Went
in
through the
time.
stages of grief, just like Antoria did.
It was.
So your favorite moment is the eventual wear down of Cade's character.
Yeah, just like the slow degradation of our psyches.
That really is the key to the FOXHOUND and Dungeons & Dragons Dark Sun experience. It's just that things are bad and will only ever get worse.
Just like a George R. R. Martin book.
Basically, yeah. I mean, what a compliment. Jeez.
Seriously.
Now I just need to never write the end of the campaign and read the sweet, sweet HBO dollars. Seriously, I'm available for licensing.
To be fair,
They knew most of the sets and stuff again.
we don't know if Marvin's dead or not.
We don't know that.
To be fair.
So give us a lead in. What happened last week that led to such fatalistic speaking and a missing member from the table?
Well, we had at very first some water mysteries to solve with this group. We ran into this caravan.
Sure.
That their water kept mysteriously disappearing. We're like, okay, whatever, we can't spare our water, we're gonna move along. And we went to move along after a few minor things with Antoria's character and some possible backstory with his mother that he didn't know.
Lol.
But we kind of found out our water was also disappearing. So we're like, alright, we're gonna hightail it, we're gonna go back to Alterac instead of heading to our destination. So we turned around, went back, and our water kept disappearing. We're like, we're not getting there fast enough, so we broke out the boat. The boat that eats things and ate all of our or one of our mounts. The other mounts ran away.
They ate 2 mounts.
2 mounts.
And Toria telekinetically force-fed.
Oh, that's
Moria
right.
was trying to escape.
And
It's
Toria's
like,
also
no.
trying to become evil.
No, that's not evil. It's like practical. We need that ship.
Lich. So we got on the boat. We got towards Alterac, and then a dragon kind of came out of the sky.
The dragon. There's
The
only
dragon,
one.
sorry. The dragon came down and kind of confronted us. He was very, very ticked off about Marvin existing and being around, and we were trying very
As one would
hard.
be.
Yeah, we were trying very hard to prevent him from killing Marvint, and we failed. And
Oh, yeah.
For the record, I literally
we-
tried to give him to the dragon.
one note that may come back to bite us is we did swear certitude to him.
A little.
Yeah, we kind of swore, I don't know, allegiances to him.
I don't know if we swore it so much as it was forced on us to some degree. And Toria certainly didn't speak the words.
No,
but-
we even felt something in us.
Yeah, we felt something in us, so that's not quite the same, at least
So
in
it's
Toria. But anyway, go
not
on.
entirely far off, and I'm sure Hamanu is thrilled.
Manu is always thrilled.
He's just a happy guy.
That's
So we
why they
left
call him
off
Manu.
with a sandstorm coming in and kind of blowing us all away, I think, or it kind of interrupted, and that's where we left
I think
off.
we faded to sand colored.
Yeah.
Right.
Insert disc 3.
Yeah. The picture of an angry Hamanu face for the Disc 3 picture.
That's my favorite emoji.
So we may have been saved by the great sandstorm that randomly ran through the area, and
Nah, we're all dead.
yeah, we're all dead. New characters.
This
We had
is
to
a
actually
character
roll.
generation stream.
All
Now we're
right.
playing in Dragonlance.
What can I be, Drizzed?
Sig Drizz?
Yeah, I did say Drizzed.
Wrong setting.
Drizzled.
Who is the Drizzle?
He's forgotten realms, thank you.
Thank
Oh.
you.
We would be looking for Raceland if
That's
you wanted
right.
the
Oh,
most
man.
douchebaggy character
Oh,
in
he's such an
Dragonlance.
I love him. I dressed up as him for 9th grade Halloween. And then on the day of, I got chicken pox. Which is not an age to get chicken pox at, believe you me.
It's actually sort of fitting, though. His con score was pretty shitty.
It was really terrible. It was. I had a lot of tea, and I finally got a TV moved into my room, and I was avoided. I didn't have to take the test or take the black robes or anything like that. Those are Dragonlance jokes for all of you out there. Don't play. Do you remember?
Oh shit, yeah, Chevron broke too.
Oh yeah, Chevron broke.
That's
Oh,
important.
yeah.
His sword broke.
Yeah.
The sword, yeah.
From
His spirit seems unbroken.
broke. The blade broke against the mighty scale high of the dragon.
GG.
I'm too strong.
That's what went wrong. Yeah, that's what went
So
wrong.
strong.
A movable object, unstoppable force.
Yes. So everything went dark. I'm not gonna turn the lights off. I've already done that gimmick once this season.
It's a new disc.
Time passes.
Now loading.
You're not positive how much time has passed, but ever slowly, consciousness begins to come to you. Not wakefulness, mind, simply the understanding that you're not dead. You sort of go in and out of a fugue state. Horrible dreams, visions of ancient warfare, mighty dragon wreaking havoc in the skies. For some of you, images of an ancient kraken roiling up from the ground, devouring the world. But interspersed, a face you don't quite recognize. Older, gentler, whispering, calming, until darkness takes you again. Everyone give me a con check.
I'm good at these.
Check or save?
Check.
Ooh, 19.
23.
Shut up.
21.
I don't seem to own a D20.
Just to come.
Just the bonus, yep.
modifier.
Yes.
9.
7.
7.
Yep.
Well,
That's what I'm sticking
no
by.
surprise to anyone that Antoria has the highest results.
I mean, we've got a half giant and the warrior from
Yep.
Hamanu,
Crazy, right?
and the
Yes.
bug and the wizard.
It's almost
You're
like
really
fuck his character.
Sorry.
Darn it.
Antoria, you awake. Is it from a fever? You feel like dildos.
Is that Ultros's cousin?
It's not great. You feel as though you have 10 hangovers.
Is that even enough condition to like try and perceive surroundings?
Sure. I mean, you're not disoriented necessarily. You just wish you were dead.
Oh, okay.
Typical.
What does Antoria see around him then?
He wishes he was undead.
Oh, he's had enough of that.
Yes, you draw on your lichy powers to regenerate damage. As a matter of fact, you seem to be moving. You are inside of a covered caravan of some kind. You're not sure what is being borne by as it's sealed up. There's a tent flap as a carriage of this sort laid out. Might be a multi-story thing, might be on the back of a make lot or something like that. You don't see any wheels or anything like that, but you can tell that it's day and you're headed off somewhere. You're alone, but it seems as though you're in a small quarters, perhaps with one other cot available aside from yours.
And no one's in it or anything.
No one is there now.
Antoria will try using an action to call Tanger out of the void. Well, it's good to see you survived. Is there's like a curtain or something to the outside of this cupboard?
There is, yes.
Is it like loose or would it need to be opened?
It's cinched shut, but it's not been a difficult thing to untie it and open it up.
Alright, well, fighting off 10 hangovers worth of misery, Antoria will look at Tanger and say, I haven't even seen the others yet. Go outside and look. It might be a little less suspicious. So Antoria will get up and stumble over to the gateway, and not the gateway, the curtain, and try to uncinch it.
Sure. Takes a little doing.
Yeah.
Tanger skirts under the flap and flies out into the sky.
Alright.
Can you see as he does?
As an action, I can share his senses for a round at a time, so I'll start doing that as soon as he's outside and have him fly around.
It does, in fact, appear to be like you're situated on the back of a make-a-lot. There's it's almost like a pontoon boat, but it's just on the back of an enormous reptile. It's tromping across the desert. It's not by itself. There are some more refugees, maybe it looks like. A much larger party than the one you'd seen last time.
I'm glad they didn't come across us. They would have just stomped our heads in and kept going.
Maybe. I'm confiscating this make-a-lot in the name of money. This one, certainly, aside from being more populous, seems a little bit more guarded. Actually, seems just as diverse as the last one you saw. That there are what look like nobles and guards, and maybe even a couple of Templars. You're not quite sure from where. Certainly plenty of common folks, slaves, craftspeople, that kind of thing. The back of the make-a-lot seems to have a number of other tents. It almost seems like a med center or something.
Alright, Tanger will try to enter another tent that looks like he could enter it if it's like not pulled taut.
Sure. One is actually open. The one to Zorak's chamber is undone. There's an old man inside.
Okay. Tanger will
build a character.
Yes, he does.
3 for 3.
Alright, well, if Tanger has found Zorak, he will go ahead and leave that tent for now.
Sure.
Are there any others
Fuck
open?
that guy.
Well, I mean, the bird can't really do
I know,
anything
I
to
know.
help you.
There's no others open. No.
Okay. Well, then Tanger will go ahead and return to Antoria. Thank you. Antoria feel like you could walk to that tent in his current condition on the back of a moving animal, or is that just not advised?
I think you could shamble.
Shamble.
Yeah.
Alright.
Make a shamble check.
Like a zombie?
Sure.
That'll be a dex check.
Okay. That is 13.
13. You gotta steady yourself, reaching out. Every now and then you reach out for something and it's just canvas. But get your sea legs little by little.
Alright. And make it a Zorak's tent?
Sure. Takes a while, maybe 10 minutes or so, but managed to scuttle your way on over there.
Alright,
Zorak, you're just coming to. You see an old man sort of positioned over you. He's I don't know, maybe 45 or 50 or something like that, if that. But he still looks, hardy. He's got a lot of hair lines in his face. He seems to be someone who's had a hard life, but has managed to persevere. He doesn't look frail by any means. He's got sort of wiry white hair. He doesn't seem to place a lot of stock in his appearance. Actually, he's only wearing a tattered smock and some dusky colored kind of thing, but it seems serviceable to hide his shame, if nothing else.
How am I feeling? Also the same?
You are feeling pretty bad, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But from what you can tell, he's just wrapping up a healing spell that seems to be cinching up some last residual damage.
What has happened? Where are we?
You're awake at last.
Yes,
Your kind always were resilient.
indeed. There was the dragon, the great dragon.
Yes, I've heard tell. You've been through a lot. Please rest. Release your energy.
Where's the rest? The rest of the clutch.
Your friends are here. I promise. I've tended them as best as I can. Not all are as recuperative as the mighty cream.
some of us are. From the doorway.
Son be praised. Glad to see you up and about.
I don't feel great, but I imagine I felt far worse before your assistance. You have my thanks.
I did as I was able to do. I'm glad that it was enough.
And the others are alright as well?
They will come to you soon, if they have not already.
I see. I admit I probably should be asking a dozen questions, but at the moment it was all I could do to get here.
That is already enough for today. Please, let me take care of things here. Return, rest. We'll speak later.
As you say.
If I may, I could help. I could try to help.
You have already done a great deal. Rest now. Perhaps tomorrow. Put our talents to use.
That's good advice. Calling on energy in our condition is
You had 9 to 7, is that correct?
ill-advised.
correct.
7.
I
I
did
did not.
resting up.
I'll roll my new character.
Alright, and Toriel will try to stumble back to his tent. Another stumble check, or has he got the hang of it?
The old man actually helps
Oh.
you back. And once you're situated in, takes a seat on the other cot. He just sort of seems to drift off. Doesn't seem to be quite asleep. But it's,
There's one question I would like to ask, if it's alright.
life is your own.
Who are you all? I saw the caravan outside. There's a large group of you.
These are lost souls fleeing destruction. Your friend mentioned the dragon. Such a tale is usually the sort of mirage reserved for only the most despairing of madmen. In this particular instance, I'm inclined to believe it. It was Roth. The great dragon descended upon Altrak. Toward from the roots.
The city is destroyed.
What there is belongs to him, as we all did.
And you are refugees from there. It's madness. What does he gain by destroying them? Tori looks frustrated, then almost passes out from the emotion of being frustrated in his current condition.
Thank goodness he isn't alive in 2016.
Powerful frustration.
Yeah.
Fuck my life. He posts on Twitter.
Who can judge the wills and wants one who is not a man.
Certainly not me in my current state. But I will be alright, I think. Just a little more time, probably.
The world is cruel. The dragon, the most representative of that cruelness.
There's cruelty, and then there's foolish capriciousness. Destroying Alteric was pointless.
Is it merely a symptom of what we see all around us? Magic tearing the world apart, men killing one another for a handful of coppers. Families dying for age-old blood feuds. Who can say why men, why dragons do what they do? I find it's relieving simply to work here in the present. Do what you can now. Trust the rest will simply resolve. As he speaks, you drift out. Good night. Well, we'll see you next week.
Alright. Let's go get some pizza.
Yeah. Now it's minute time.
Oh God, never
No.
again.
I dealt with that problem.
That's harsh.
After about another day, maybe 2 days, everyone feels well enough to have woken up, to have gotten out of bed and explored their surroundings, sort of gotten an idea of what's going on. There's sort of a small common area between all the tents, this platform in the back of the Great Beast. The old cleric is happy to be there, or to give you your privacy if you prefer to confer in your tents.
Do we have all our stuff on us still?
That's a good question. How do you propose to investigate that? So, shall we say that everyone is like convening to deal with that particular issue?
Toria's actually going to do a self-assessment first. The next time he wakes up in his tent and the cleric is not present.
Okay. You still retain possession of your crown of dust. You have all your other stuff too.
Oh.
Sure.
Okay.
No, we don't care about that. We're looking for our stats.
Well, the spell book was the main thing. If that's gone, that's
No, you don't seem to be missing anything.
okay. Cool. Just checking.
Other stuff might be missing, but we'll get to that in due time.
You could use the crown of dust to wish your spellbook back to you.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
They took my spell book while I'm resurrecting the Dust Kraken.
Screw that. I'm gonna do that. Give me Hamanu's spell book, please.
Yeah.
My trading cards.
I had a Black Lotus, damn it.
Probably had an actual Black Lotus.
He probably does. He just wears boxes.
Kane would probably actually, when he does wake up, he would be like rolling around in bed and muttering about Hamanu for a little bit before he would like start awake.
Of course.
And then he would assess his quarters and himself, assuming he was alone.
Sure.
Do I seem to have my gear?
You seem to have everything that you would have had.
Okay. I'll
Notably, there's no trace of the boat which you were last seen captain.
perfect.
And Notoria's not really gonna complain about that either.
I can't wait for that to be like. That's gonna be
The final boss.
Well, it's the bonus boss that you have to go back to that area and track him down, and now he's huge. Anyway, once I check myself, Kate will just immediately kneel down to pray, but he'll be doing that for a while.
Of course. Marcus.
Marcus will check specifically for the hilt of Chevron
You find it easily.
Black Blade. Okay.
That is sitting in its sheath. It's simply missing most of the blade.
Okay. And
It's a
no
sick
remnants
look, though.
of it either.
Not that you can find, no.
Okay.
The
Broken
boat
straight
ate it.
sword run.
Huh?
Broken
Yeah,
straight sword
exactly.
run.
How you holding up, champ?
Feel really out of it, but you seem to be in worse shape than I.
I was gonna say I've been worse, but that's not actually true. This is literally the worst I've ever been.
Thanks.
Is that even a thing that you perceive? A material housing you?
It's
that's-
not great.
Oh.
I live to slaughter evil, to bring justice to the world. I feel kind of impotent. Not that I don't think you could do some damage, but I mean...
Well, we'll see what we can do to get you back into shape.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Anything else that Marcus notices missing, or is everything else intact?
Everything else seems to be intact.
Okay. Bronze armor?
Bronze armor.
Yes.
That's all.
Bumping
That's
against
been
the
missing
wall.
for weeks.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, he wasn't surprised by it.
of course not.
Wait, he was surprised.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't surprised because he hasn't noticed.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Zorak's also going to check for one really important thing first above all else, which is Pharistes.
Ah, Pharistes is not there.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yep,
thought.
that didn't take long.
I mean, I don't know why you guys brought him along anyway.
I didn't want to.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't leave him with the town he just mind controlled.
I mean, we absolutely could, but
Unless we wanted to have to clean up the same problem again later.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's lucky he's gone out, and Torio's going to dig a very deep telekinetic hole and throw him in it after his performance during the dragon incident.
Well, that's just as well. Zorak's going to want to meet up with the group as soon as possible.
Okay.
Make sure everyone's okay.
Convening seems like a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
We convene.
yeah, Cade will eventually stumble out of his prayer.
Absolutely.
He'll be looking around. This would be his first time out, but
Well, you guys convene and perhaps for the first time discover that they're on the board.
yeah, I would have my war pick out a lot, but like not up because I'm too exhausted. I'm
course.
stumbling around with it
Where's
out.
it came?
Yeah, no, it's like maybe I could muster up just an ounce of energy to hit somebody with this. But,
Sure.
But yeah, so I'd stumble in, be like, Antoria,
Yes,
you all right?
of course. You?
I think so.
But where's the foolish one?
The dragon wanted his death. Where do you think he is?
Yeah. I hope that maybe the storm had whisked him away as it did us.
Would be.
Have you tried contacting him?
It's worth a shot, I suppose. We'll have to wait a little bit. I haven't been in much of a condition to do much of any spell casting, but I will try it.
We do appear to possibly be in good company. The one that healed us and resurrected us, he's a caster of his own renown.
He's off in his own tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Refugees from Eltarak. Apparently the dragon destroyed it. Because he had nothing better to do, I assume.
Victoria's so salty
He's
about the dragon.
so mad.
Because he couldn't
I
counter
was
the
going to
dragon.
destroy Alterac.
The
Right,
dragon.
yeah, counter it.
Yeah.
I know he'll never forgive it. It's like what did
Now I'm going to build it all over again.
he do to us?
Which
I felt it too when we met with him.
The dragon.
I haven't investigated that yet.
That's the
It's-
most important thing in the world.
Somewhat similar to the connection I've
You
had
know how you feel right now? That's about how I felt most of the last 2 days, but I will...
Everyone give me a perception check.
There's a dog.
Oh, it's a dirt.
19.
Nothing notable,
Don't
a
worry.
6.
15.
19.
14.
14. You guys notice something, sort of, like there's some kind of a scar on Antoria's chest. Like maybe something, it almost looks, is that infected? I mean, you're not a doctor.
I
You're
mean,
kind of a doctor.
it's a doctor.
But there's something there, like for someone who's been ostensibly healed by a cleric for the past few days or whatever, there's something like pulsing a little bit.
Cade will drop his work.
Hold on,
pick and
let me
step
look at
up.
that.
Like,
What-
Antoria,
What the?
what's
the rest of
wrong?
the party starts stripping your clothes
Yeah.
off immediately.
Yeah, I mean, Cade would pretty well help himself, like, as if he's a doctor, which
This
is
is
not.
fine.
Yeah.
I'll do knowledge medicine, see
Sure.
if I can figure
I didn't
something out.
notice this myself until now.
Marcus would like to check his own chest for a similar thing.
You find one match.
I got a 14.
15.
Well, seems we have something to look at after all.
There is a scabbed over scar, small but noticeable, black as ash.
I love dragons talking about.
And you don't.
I don't. That was a lie. No, nobody likes it.
I like picking up my followers.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna guess Zorak's never seen anything like this.
No, absolutely not. It's not any particular distinct shape either. It literally looks like a blemish or a birthmark or something like that, but it is very noticeably something that wasn't there.
It doesn't look natural either, I take it. This, I don't know what this is. Is it possible the dragon did something?
It seems a likely candidate, but I'll have to take a closer look to get any information, and I'd rather not do that out in the open. I'll be back in a few moments. Troy will go to his tent.
Okay.
Is anyone in?
Is there?
Oh, the cleric's there. Oh.
So you got something on your chest.
Greetings.
Hello.
Just looking for you. Do you know anything about this?
That was curious. It was one thing beyond my talents to heal. I'm sorry.
Were you
I've never
able,
seen anything of its like.
were you able to determine anything about it?
It's gross.
My talents come from faith. I admit there are many secrets, many things to know of this world, but they are beyond my ken. I'm simply a healer.
I see. Well, I appreciate your efforts in this matter.
Indeed. Others are your friends, I think.
Yes, it seemed like all of us had them.
Maybe some grim memento. The tale is true.
That's exactly what I'm afraid of, to be honest.
Shall I leave you be?
Well, yes, I could do with a little more rest, I think.
Take your time. Get to 6 feet. The wall's out the door.
Right. In the meantime, Cade would have, like, on the spot, he would have stripped his armor off to check if it was out.
Do it. You have one.
So,
You still have your sweet tattoo.
yeah, that's gone.
Well, after a couple of moments after our cleric is gone, Antorio will send Tanger outside to make sure no one else approaches, and then use identify on his scar.
Sure.
Cade will just, like, sit down in a corner and just, like, hug his knees and kind of cry.
Getting the snow channel. Tori mutters a little bit.
Alright.
Put his hands together a
Guess
little.
we'll have to get serious.
That's kind of what he's thinking. Targeting the curse not the curse directly. Giving my hand away. Targeting the scar directly, Antoria will cast Remove Curse at 6th spell level.
Okay.
I guess those are.
Remove curse. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a curse magic item, its curse remains. There's literally no roll for that.
Also, Gius, if it's all curses on a target, this would also affect Nanda's Gius, because it's apparently blanket targeting.
Okay.
If Antoria could use an arcane check to avoid that one, since he knows it's there, he would attempt to do so, but he's not going to...
You can.
Alright, Antoria will use an arcana check to try and leave Nanda's Gius in place, since he knows it's there and it's
But
not...
if you fail it, then it's simply going to include it in the area of effect.
Toria's reluctantly okay with that, given the mask is gone and that Gius is not a thing.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Natural 20 will do it.
It's like a surgeon.
Yeah. Like the pros decker out there. Scar tissue literally falls away.
Is it on the ground?
It is.
And Toria will pick it up and place it in a bag.
That's disgusting.
Like a Ziploc.
That's fucked up.
Just a pouch or something. I mean, this is a magical scar tissue from the dragon himself. Theoretically, it's
No, that's fine. Roll it on your face.
it's possibly of some note.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he kind of overkilled that one. How easily does Antoria think he could repeat what he just did without having to worry about a Gius to work around in the other 3 cases?
I mean, remove curse worked on you.
Fair enough.
Give me an intelligence check.
Alright.
Or you can give me an Arcana check if you prefer.
Arcana seems
Kind of
nice.
you.
16.
The one thing that does come to mind is that whoever cast the curse may well know that his curse has been ended at the time that it ends.
Toria kind of shrugs a little when he remembers that detail. It's like,
Sure. You live your best life, buddy.
Mhm.
Anyway, the dragon shows up.
He just pops out from under the sand.
Just every episode. I'm here for another.
all right. And Toria will send Tanger to find the other three and kind of squawk at them and kind of lassie routine them towards the tent.
A bird appears.
Kate would just be like sitting on the floor looking incredibly morose throughout all this.
Zorak might be outside making a little burial mound for Marvin.
But he'll get up when he
On
sees
the
Tanger.
shell of the turtle.
Oh, we're on a giant.
Yeah,
oh,
on a
we're on a giant.
We're on a
Okay.
into Freya's show.
Okay, I thought we were in a caravan. Sorry. I thought we were in a caravan and just traveling along. Sorry.
No.
Okay, never mind then.
I'll get up when Tanger starts walking and drag myself after him.
Marcus will follow Cade.
I'll also go.
You guys cram into a tiny tent.
Antoria, what did you discover?
And Toria simply,
What?
You do
Just
what?
couldn't give Elizabeth shit.
No, he's tired! Fucking rolled a 7 on his constitution check and he thinks that he's giving his soul away to another god.
Well, you're not wrong.
It's a hard time to be Kate, okay?
You know what?
He's happy to see Antoria, but sometimes it's just, this is how it goes. Like,
Okay, I'm sorry to have interrupted.
not every moment in a relationship can be magic.
You gotta have your ups and downs.
Anyway, what have you discovered?
and Toria says, well, I'll show you. And Toria gestures at Cade, casting Remove Curse at 5th level this time.
Okay.
Can you rank that one up? I don't think you can rank it up. Can you?
You can, even if you can't rank a spell up, you can use a higher level
Okay.
spell slot.
Alright.
Yeah, you can
That's
use higher level spell slots to cast lower level spells if you just need ammo.
Gotcha.
Or if you want to resist counter magic, for example, because higher spell slots also do that. But anyway,
Gotcha.
so it worked with no problems?
Sure.
Alright, there you go.
What does that mean?
Wait. I don't think this is wise.
Well, too late. Like, what
If
is
this is from the dragon, then what's to stop him from being infuriated again, trying to track us
He
down?
just shows up every day where he casts
Yeah,
a
like,
spell.
stop doing that! God damn it!
He was about to kill us himself anyway. I don't see what the damn difference is, do you?
I prefer we kept it.
Well, Marcus's is gone unless someone physically restrained him.
Say, well, I don't want anything to do with it.
If you really want to keep yours, I can certainly leave it.
I can remove my own if need be. I know what you're doing. I can do the same.
12.
Yours like gets up and like starts to skitter towards the door.
I'm gonna
Does it
go try to pick it back up.
Okay.
Mine didn't do that.
Tries to escape out of your hands.
Like, Antoria.
Oh, and Toria tries to grab it and put it in the bag with the other one.
Sure.
Turn it into one of those
Put it in,
worms.
But the other one starts to climb out.
What is going on? What is this? What is happening?
I don't know. I wasn't able to identify them. I'm just removing them. Alright.
Again, I mean,
Are you dispelling Zorax as well?
No, he specifically asked me not to, so his is being left alone.
Nice.
Let's see. What do we got?
Time to kill Bill character. For this shit for hours.
I'm a little late for my quota.
Alright. Let's try this. Hold on to these two, and he takes out both of the one, puts Marcus's in the bag and closes it tightly.
This section is gross.
Just keep holding them. And Toria will try casting Banish on one of them.
Okay.
Is it capable of making a charisma save?
Say no.
That's disgusting.
Is it native to the material plane?
Yes.
Oh. Then 1 minute later it reappears in your...
I'll like retake
That was
it.
a dim hope. Let me try something else.
What?
What is that?
What's happening?
Dim Hope is my favorite Dark Souls.
And Toria will try casting Dispel Magic at one of them.
Okay.
Is it a 3rd level or lower spell that is making it a thing?
Yes.
Then it is dispelled.
Okay. It goes limp in your hand. It's just a bunch of blood and tissue now.
Okay. Victoria cast that on the next one, same result. And then Marcus's, I assume, same result. All 3 tied up in a bag safely.
Sure.
And he ties them up in another slightly larger bag and double secures. It's like,
Sure.
that will have to do for now.
What is going on?
Well, the one on Zorak's chest is looking kind of nervous.
It's like its eyes.
You sure you want to keep that down?
Scurrying a
Thing?
little bit off.
What
to
is
one
the
side.
only thing of insurance we have if the dragon were to attack again or find us again?
What insurance? It was trying to kill us already.
I'm not sure the word insurance exists in this.
I mean,
What if he can track us with that?
I'm pretty sure he could track us regardless, with or without it. He found us in the first place.
Well, took him a while to find us.
Indeed.
He's not here now, and I removed the thing of my own 10 minutes ago.
Are you all in accordance? It should be removed.
I mean,
I would
don't
be much
see-
happier if you let me remove it.
I don't see
Very well
any
then.
call to keep
He'll
something
let
like
you
that.
do it.
Never half-ass a thing.
Alright, remove curse, dispel magic cocktail on the 4th star. Also bundling it up and putting it in the double
This
bags.
one's less blood, and we're just like,
Chitin. Yeah, chitin.
It's chitin.
Chitin,
I
is it
recently
chitin?
learned that.
I knew that. That's the one thing I knew in the whole world.
Wow.
That's not what blood scrub wants.
Just depends on where you put it.
H is pretty good.
Yeah, C's 4.
Don't suppose...
Three.
We'll try one other thing. Now that they've been magic...
Trust me.
Oh, Words with Friends. Sorry.
Worst of friends is a pale thing.
Yeah.
Well, now that they've
Or as
been...
I like to call it dim hope.
Now that they've magically been beaten into submission, Toriel will try identify one more time, see if that gets a different result now that they've had the...
Now physically
So
Step.
that appears to be a blood clot of some kind.
Fair enough, okay. I think that took care of everything. Kind of staggers into his cot a little bit. I'll be alright, just... That was a lot of magic in a short amount of time after an interesting... However,
No,
it's
don't
been.
overexert yourself. We don't know how long this journey is, or where we're going, for that matter.
Honestly, I haven't been up to asking very many questions until I confirmed everyone was all right.
Well, almost everyone.
Almost
Did
everyone.
you try contacting Marvin?
Well, you only asked me 5 minutes ago. I said it was going to take a little bit.
What about Jermaine?
I will try when I wake up next.
That was a joke. They're the same person.
They
I
are?
wasn't actually sure you knew that. I didn't have the heart to
I am
explain.
Chevron.
I'm sorry.
Chevron, you were broken in the fight. What does that mean?
I'm not 100% on that, as a matter of fact.
Wonderful.
This is unprecedented.
Do you
Why not?
still think you would be able to manipulate the pillars?
That's, it's worth a shot.
Because the other way we could manipulate the pillars was Marvin.
Well, let's be clear. I think that I'm still a better choice.
Yes,
Even if I'm dead.
I agree.
Look, I saw the process that put you into that sword. Is that sword of particular importance, or could I just maybe move you to a different weapon? I mean, when I saw you in...
This particular material is very special.
What is it?
Don't know.
It's your home.
But what I do know that is, yes, listen, no, seriously, I'm trying to make a real point here.
We're listening.
This weapon was handcrafted thousands of years ago, before the dawn of time, for a very specific purpose. Now, that's not to say you couldn't transfer me into something else, or fix me in some way, but you couldn't just shove my spirit into a club or a cowl hook and expect it all just to work the way that it ordinarily goes.
I mean, Calhooks do 2d6 damage. For a weapon.
I was
They're
going to
actually
try
quite
and
substantial.
find
They're
something
quite substantial.
reasonably decent, but I take your point. Apparently the weapon itself is important.
I'm
or
not averse to transferring hosts, but we have to find the right...
the right home, of course.
Yeah, you know.
We've never seen one like it before
Indeed.
or since.
No,
Well, it's probably buried somewhere in the desert now.
just like this one was.
Marcus starts crying.
Let me rest for a bit, and I'll
Surprised.
let me rest for a bit, and I'll try contacting Marvin and
Yes.
see what happens of that.
Hang on, I'll just do it for you. Marvin, are you there?
Are you
Oh.
capable of long-range telepathy?
No,
Well,
but I don't hear him.
Yeah, I guess he's gone.
Yep. That's too bad.
I think there's another matter to discuss, and I'm not sure if we have.
I believe I was finished speaking, and that was the end of the conversation.
There is another matter to discuss.
Yes.
Marvin.
What was up with Marvin? Who was
So many things.
I
According
don't-
to the dragon.
Why did the dragon care so much about him and his person?
According to the dragon, if I understood properly, the dragon believed he was a simulacrum of Rajat, the inventor of the arcane.
Those are some 10 silver words.
Would
The inventor of the
explain.
arcane.
Literally the first being on Athos that wielded the arcane.
That would explain why Hamanu wanted him.
It would.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this is the first time he's mentioned that, by the way. Like,
Amanu wanted him.
he did. And now I don't know what to do.
I guess you should probably die.
That is an option.
What do you mean Hamanu wanted him?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything more than that.
What, like he sent you a letter?
I told you.
With like a picture of Marvin on it?
I
One
And like the word please?
told you all that I received a vision from Hamanu and you thought I was insane.
I thought you were insane.
But I'm not crazy.
Well, this is my first time hearing that, but
So your vision from Hamanu had nothing to do with what we were up to. It was all about bringing Rajat to him.
Yes.
Tori looks like he is about had it with this.
And Toria, I'm sorry, I didn't lie to you.
No, it's not even you. It's just another damn sorcerer king who's busy with their own plots instead of trying to...
You don't know that this wasn't related. I mean, we know that Marvin or Rajat or whatever was related to the pillars in some fashion. It's
suppose
not
that's true.
coincidence that
What
I
did he want
happened
you to do
across
with
your
him?
group. I don't know. Just to bring him.
To Yurik.
No.
Where?
Somewhere else.
I believe it was
I have it written down.
Draj.
Yeah,
He's a little-
beyond Draj. Yeah, but he's been trying to convince him to go there under circumstances for a long
Not
time.
very well.
No, poorly.
He seems to probably very likely be dead or captured by the dragon at the very least. Either way, quite out of our hands. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about Hamanu. That would be nuts.
No, that.
The dragon randomly destroying Alterac makes me believe almost anything is possible.
I mean, he's pretty tough.
I just don't understand why he did such a thing. It's...
I just don't
An ill-tempered beast.
know what to do.
Well,
look,
What specifically did Hamanu tell you to do?
He wanted me to bring the Pyrene past Draj to the northeast, right? To the northeast, beyond the tablelands.
Maybe if we painted someone blue,
oh, I see where you're going with this.
it's at least
I'm getting a headache. Everyone out.
Yes, I need some time. Thank you, Shibram.
We've been influenced by Marvin himself.
Before we go, I
He is
wish
one
to
of-
speak with the old man again. Find out where this caravan is heading.
We have
By all
plenty of
means.
time. I'm going to go
Ask
back
him.
to my quarters.
Just not in here.
I'm going to leave and go
Zorak
back to my
will
quarters.
try and track down the old man
He's
again.
back at the common area outside.
Some water real quick. While I'm
Off camera.
easy there.
There's a table there.
It's true.
Greetings.
Hello.
You possess quite the talents to have restored our friends to health and good.
I'm a simple devotee. The sun, majestic source of all life
Ah,
and death, gives as it will.
likewise, I have also devoted myself to Athos and water specifically, but sadly, Athos isn't quite the quite lacking of that these days.
The font of life. A worthy devotion. Although, tell me, I find that my goals, that those whom I give my service to, are not always intertwined.
This is all too true. It's part of the reason I came here, actually, to ask exactly where this caravan was heading.
Most of these folk head to Balik, Altrak's sovereign city. Many still believe there is some safety to be found far from this devastation. The south is the ancient ruins. In Balik they will be safe. King and his Templars manage some degree of order there.
Wow.
I'll go with the rest.
Perhaps none of us are safe if the dragon is deciding it just wishes to raise cities at its will. But
How is this different from 5 years ago?
No.
10 from 100?
not much anyone can do about that.
This world is a corpse bound above the flames.
I
Looking
still
at
have hope for it.
ourselves.
I still have hope for it. There must be some way to restore Athos.
If the body is half burned, the top half may live on, but cannot walk, find water, cannot plow the field, cannot perpetuate life so that it may go on in the years. The
I've
sun gives life and takes it.
had great visions of what Athos once was and what I believe it could become once again. And I wish to know why I had these visions. This is part of the reason I'm on my journey. But
Now speak to the spirits in the ancient deeps, the springs, the waterfalls, the forests beyond. But the sun is ever present. It makes its will known immediately, without hesitation, without humility, without mercy. It burns, and it will go on burning. I will simply make sure that as many are as comfortable in their own lives as is possible. Perhaps you may do the same.
no. Thank
Marcus, what are you up to?
Thinking about pledging his life to the sun. Sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah, just every session he has a new fucking.
Why didn't you think of it before, really?
I mean, really just kind of waiting for you're talking to the dudes,
Yeah.
just kind of figure out where we're going,
Good deal.
waiting on details.
Cade.
Cade just go back to his quarters to pray and meditate and whatnot.
Okay. Your session is not, so you're not deprived of any powers
Right.
necessarily.
Sure. That's good, because that's my character.
Yeah.
He'd be real bad without those things.
And you're not sure if it's like a legitimate sensation or it's just your anxiety eating away at you, but you can't help but think like, mad at me? I mean, Hamano doesn't like directly speak to you over the course of your prayers or anything
Sure.
like that. Nor do you even necessarily feel like, oh, I'm reinvigorated or anything like that in like a magical sense, the way like your mana bar doesn't fill up.
Yeah.
It's at the moment that you cast a spell or try to do the thing that your faith is really tested. But even so, you know, you're Cade, so you usually feel like, okay, I've done my devotions. And this time you're
Just a little shaky. Just,
a little bit.
yeah. He'll probably pray for a while and then just spend some time pacing around the tiny space.
Of course.
Just wearing holes in the ground before
Yeah,
you eventually
sure.
head out to try to find the others.
Got it.
I'll bid farewell to the caravaneer and head back to the group. Let them know where we're heading.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
are we
assuming the group reconvenes.
reconvening?
Yeah. Outside of Antoria's tent, we're all just kind of Antoria.
Victoria!
Help!
I think my dad is mad at me. He doesn't like us being together.
Yes, a bunch of stray cats gather out.
That was supposed to be Tanger.
Yeah.
Oh.
Squawking at you. Yes.
Well, I tell you guys where we're heading. So we have at least those options, or we can strike out on our own if we wish to, but perhaps not the wisest decision considering what just happened to us.
There's no circumstances under which we could demand supplies of these people. They've already helped us too much.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, we owe them. But
I'm not that I recommend we go back, but are we abandoning heading to Caladay based on
we should still head there, but we have no supplies other than what we could beg from these folk, unless we perhaps can buy some from them.
Well,
But
With this many
also,
people.
It has one of the towers, does it not?
it does. It does.
I guess this is as good a place as any to find out if Chevron will still be
But
able
on
to...
the other hand, our plan was to go around the tablelands through a southeasterly course. If we still plan to stick to that, we can't ignore the ruins. We'd have to come back for them.
How often do our plans change?
Often enough, but it's worth at least trying to stick to them if there's no reason not to. Perhaps in the morning we should talk to them about maybe purchasing some supplies, not to mention paying for what we've already used.
If we asked... well, I guess I'd have to talk to them again to figure out where we are, because I guess we don't know exactly where we are right now.
After I've rested, I'll be able to try and contact Marvin, as well as a few other folks, and see what the situation is there. Till then, I have nothing further to add.
Very well.
So I guess Antoria is taking a long rest to reshuffle his spellbook a little bit.
Okay.
The main reshuffling is he's going into the talky talk mode, so he's getting sending, dream, and contingency ready in place of detect thoughts, phantasmal force, and haste.
That's fair. Does anyone else do anything in like 8 hours?
I'm gonna memorize Dispel Dragon.
is our exhaustion still present?
No, I'm sorry. Your exhaustion has been remedied.
Good.
Excellent.
During the 8 hours, Tanger will keep an eye on the scar bag and make sure no wiggling commences.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd switch around some spells, but nothing major.
Yeah.
Zorak might find a quiet spot to try and commune with the spirits, maybe.
Sure.
See if there's anything.
There's not really a whole lot else back here aside from the tents in the common area.
Yeah.
Unless you want to hop off the Mikolon.
No.
Goodbye.
It's not often that he gets to talk to the spirits anyway, but the mood struck him.
No, Cade would just spend the time just pacing around in dissatisfaction. Like, he's clearly not sure if he should be back in his quarters praying, or if he should be resting, or if he should be, like, at alert. So occasionally he'll be, like, marching around, watching over
It's like
things.
switching between things every 2 hours.
Yeah,
He's
pretty
actually
much.
marching around in Toria's tent.
Yeah, he needs to be protected.
Yeah. Of course.
He's so helpless. The world is so cruel.
Alright, 8 hours passed.
Alright. Start off with probably the important measure. Antoria will go ahead and cast contingency to set up his contingency. And this is the
What does contingency do?
contingency, if you have a really valuable golden statuette of yourself, lets you set a condition and a spell to be cast. When the condition is met, the spell must be cast. You get no option on it whatsoever. The first time it happens, it happens.
Okay.
It lasts 10 days, or until it is used. It doesn't consume the statue.
So it's like a Final Fantasy XII gambit.
Pretty much, yes.
It's like an if-then statement.
Yes, and it's completely not toggleable in any way whatsoever.
Okay.
So here's the condition. If Antorio loses control over his actions to an effect, casting Dispel Magic on himself could end. Dispel Magic is cast on himself at 5th spell level.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
If Antorio loses control over his actions due to an effect Dispel Magic could remove, cast Dispel Magic.
Okay.
Alright, cool. And that actually took 2 spell slots up, 6th and 5th.
So do you have to keep that one in reserve?
Funny enough, no. It's all the energy was bound up right then. I don't even have to have contingency memorized anymore. It's
Nice.
basically it's one of those spells that acts like an extra class feature just by existing.
Right.
It's kind of like you just made your own magic, like artifact object almost.
Anyway, next on the list is the scary one of the list. Try using sending to contact the simulacrum of Rajat known as Marvin.
Try not to go crazy this time.
It does cross other planes of existences, though it has a small fail rate if that's required.
Do you want me to call Ryan?
He's not gonna fucking talk to us.
Had to look up spells.
I've got it here if you want me to go ahead and read it, or are you reading it?
I'm reading it.
Okay, cool.
I'm just summoning to Polo.
Hello.
We do not make contact.
Victoria doesn't seem terribly surprised. The last...
Marcus's name.
well, it used to be. The last thing on the email draft folder that we're cleaning out, he will try to use sending to contact Nanda of the Veiled Alliance in Rom.
Okay.
He asked her if she would consent to a meeting in a dream that night so that he can brief her on what he's discovered about the mask.
Nanda agrees.
Then later tonight I will remember to do that, hopefully if we're not busy. Alright, cool.
That's fair.
Yep, that is the entirety of the email list.
Okay.
The email list.
Done and done. The rest of the party's waiting outside of your tent.
Well,
Oh, right. Thank you, Ken.
Kate's in various states depending on when you come out with the. Yeah.
Victoria pops out of the tent, shakes his head at Marcus. I couldn't make contact. Either means he's beyond reach, which for that particular method is almost impossible, or he's dead.
Figured it was worth checking anyways.
It was. Well, if we come to a decision about what we want to try and do,
Kate's like a little ways off with his weapons out, like watching where the caravan's going. Like.
we can either try and buy supplies and head to the ruins as originally planned, or we can go ahead to Balik. For my part, I'd rather finish what we started and deal with the ruins while we're still here. But
We can, but do we have any better way of approaching with the water draining issue that we had?
Well,
I think that's taken care of with the Sand Bride
destroyed
defeated.
them.
Hopefully there was only one. If it happens again, at least we know somewhat more what likely the problem is.
what to look for.
Nature check, or would it be arcane to see how common Sand Brides are?
Sure. Either of those would work.
Okay. 21 on arcane.
Sand brides are relatively uncommon. You haven't encountered one thus far in your adventures.
Fair enough. It's unlikely.
Excuse me, you've only encountered one thus far in your adventures.
Fair enough. It's relatively unlikely we would encounter another one. They aren't all over the place exactly.
I don't know what we should do.
I suppose we should figure out exactly where we are right now instead of where we're heading.
Fair enough. Let's find that old cleric who's so talkative.
Indeed.
We'll look around for the cleric and see if we can find him.
Once again, just sort of waiting in the common area for the tent to become available.
Hello.
You seem much better, much improved.
Yeah, we confirmed Marcus is dead, or Marvin is dead. That's great. No, it doesn't say that.
Well,
You know, he'll just march in with his fucking gear out.
So ready to return to battle.
I have a purpose,
It's good.
I think.
but on that note,
So few of us do.
your caravan has given us considerable aid. What do we owe you?
To know that you are recovered is gift enough.
Generosity of that sort is quite rare. You have my gratitude.
I admit I've not met many like me. Perhaps if there were more, I would be more optimistic about our world.
I know the feeling. That aside, would it be possible to speak to someone about purchasing supplies? We'd like to set off for the ruins we were originally headed towards.
We are fleeing devastation, taking what was able to be taken. But soon we will set in at Letopolis, a dwarven village. on the way to Balak. Yeah,
This one?
that's it.
Alright. Hey, right next to the LAPD.
You are.
It is the LAPD.
It's a dangerous place for elves. North Letopolis and South Letopolis sit on either side of the Great Sand Estuary. The mountain Ledo sits in the very center between the two.
Well, that should do for getting us supplies, right?
Should, I would imagine.
Yes, you should be able to situate yourselves there and continue on wherever it is that you may care to go.
Thank you.
Where will your journeys take such a noble cohort?
The ruins of Calendar where we originally were bound.
Indeed. Well, we shall enjoy each other's company a bit longer then.
You're,
Keep pace.
you were headed there as well?
Many of the refugees have had their fill of city-states and sorcerer kings. While fleeing from them is perhaps a fool's errand, there are some that say there is a place of refuge near the southern ruins.
That may well be, but the ruins themselves may be dangerous. Please take care.
Insight
Just so.
on this guy.
Yeah,
See
absolutely.
if he's 21.
21. See, he's on the up and up.
Okay.
Nice. That phrase.
I know. You gotta,
He
you
seems
gotta
like he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
He is not lying. But I suppose danger is all around us, after all.
The ruins are not my aim. There is some oasis, some village, some place of order, like Altrak,
I
but further.
have heard of such a place to the south. I do not know its specific location, but it comes up in the tales of travelers now and then.
Indeed. That is my aim. If I can be of some aid before I pass on from this world, my soul will rest easy.
You look healthy enough. I don't think you'll be passing on anytime soon.
Just so, but as we've seen, you never know what's going to drop out of the sky.
Yes.
That is for sure.
A giant rock on Marcus.
That was great. It's not a bird. My favorite Marvin moment.
I had meant to return this. Shuffles amongst his meager possessions. It's sort of a really simple kind of bag. I found it near you as we were passing. I assumed it belongs to your company, but perhaps I'm wrong. Offers up the mask of the Dread King.
That does indeed. We thought it lost.
Found again.
So it
Lucky
seems.
us.
Belongs to one of our fallen comrades.
Sorry, yours were the only bodies that I'd found.
It's alright. It's something of a miracle the four of us survived.
Indeed.
Doria gently reaches out to accept the mask and bows his gratitude again. Anything I could even think to give you in gratitude for all you've done for us would be meager.
But here's the dust crown.
So I was telling your friend, this world is cruel. Soon, someday, we will all meet fiery end of some kind. Until then, perhaps you can find it in your hearts, where possible. Certainly not at every turn, I understand. Where possible, to reach out, to ease the burdens of those who don't deserve such a cruel existence every day of their lives.
Toria nods slowly and actually seems to be taking these words to heart. He digs around in his pouch a little bit and he says, "It is...
I can't do that, but here's 500 gold.
Yeah. It is very, very little, I know, but if your powers are ever exhausted, perhaps it will allow you to help one further time." He hands him a potion of greater healing.
We are of like mind. Sun's blessings upon you.
Toria bows and Actually, he actually bows, and notably, probably only the third time in the entire campaign he's bowed to anyone, even when demanded by noisy, overpowered characters. But
You learned the praise the sun emote. No, you don't.
Oh,
You have to join the covenant in order to do that.
Yeah.
Like Marcus.
Build Alliance
Right.
didn't bother trying to invite me last time I visited.
The failed alliance.
With the failed alliance, is that what you said?
No, I said failed.
Oh, okay.
Failed
It might as well be. I was
That's-
gonna say that their emote might just be like curl up on the ground.
Yeah.
You're just so mean.
It's always just made that much more sense to me that like they're not actually very good at what they're doing because the Sorcerer Kings are really good at what they're doing.
Well,
They're not.
there's also the extra complication that like their best and brightest all got massacred by a lich relatively early in the campaign.
That did happen.
Hey, come help us fight the lich. Time stop.
Oh, yeah.
Whoops. Well.
Yep. That'll happen.
Yeah.
The cleric begs leave and goes off to retire.
As he leaves, I'll be like,
It's about sunset.
as he leaves, Zorak would like to say one thing. I agree, we should help those, especially those who would help Athos. I ask you to not give up hope, although it appears you may already have. But keep in mind that there are others out there who seek to do good in this world.
To do good is one thing. To reverse time, that's a fool's errand.
Some things can be healed, it just takes time.
Well,
Goes to sleep.
Yep, right there, right in the doorway.
if you'll forgive me, I have a report to make, though I admit having this back in my possession makes me dread it far, far less than I was before.
I suppose it's good for you that we've gotten that back.
Do we still know what connections this mask has to
To what, exactly?
anything?
We know quite a bit about it.
Because you said you were under a Gias
Yes.
to research this, so it must be something of great importance.
I'll be happy to tell you about it in the morning, but I'm about to literally have to say all of that word for word, except I have to do it in a dream where you won't be able to hear me.
What?
Perhaps.
The short version is one of the ways people like myself can communicate over long distances is by sending visions to each other. We appear in them, we can speak, we can conjure imagery, that sort of thing. That's what I intend to do to contact Nanda and tell her what we've learned of the mask, since that's what I'm more or less required to do.
Like telepathy?
Like Inception.
Yeah.
Much more powerful than standard telepathy.
I gotta go.
But anyway, enough. These are boring details. I doubt any of you are terribly concerned with it, but
Maybe.
I should get to it.
Maybe with my own power I may be able to listen on?
I sure hope not. That'd be disastrous if the spell were that easily compromised.
With your permission, I mean, maybe...
Well, I've never actually done this before, but Well, wait, how am I going to leave the door open for you, but not for any random wandering van full of detecting equipment? No,
There was a password.
And Tori invents the concept of IT and had this 3,000 years too early for it to make sense. Maybe the next time. Alright, and Tori will wander off to his tent, and when it gets closer to sleepy times, we'll cast Dream
Okay.
and try to contact Nanda of the Ram-Veiled Alliance.
Okay. And I assume you share with her what information you gathered thus far?
Yep.
Okay.
Including the fact that he actually will be honest and admit we very nearly lost the mask to the Dragon of Athos himself, and that, oh, by the way, Marvin/Rajat is quite dead.
Do you name him as Rajat to her?
He will actually give a full report of what happened with the dragon in Alterac too. I mean, he's got her on the line for 8 hours, and she's in distant,
Might as well use that time.
and she's
Dreams
in.
are actually much shorter than that.
In the meantime, Zora keeps telepathically like interrupting. Like, hey, you done yet? Hey.
Just like interrupting the modem line by making a call.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Okay.
And does she accept all of that information with any particular comment?
Can she respond? I guess you can converse.
I believe we can converse. Yeah.
She seems more, interested in like getting all this information down correctly so that she can process it.
Fair enough.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, especially with all that we found in that book in the
Sure.
library.
She does report that if all this is true, then it may behoove the Alliance to use the mask against Avalachre sooner rather than later, as Avalachre has of late taken a much greater interest in the security of her city.
And Toria's gonna have to make a personality check. 1 sec.
Okay.
he kind of arches an eyebrow. Oh, the political solution didn't quite work out, huh?
Oh man.
No, and in fact,
Sastoria.
since the death of the High Templar, the Sorcerer Queen has greatly militarized the city, enforcing much stricter law and doing a lot more in terms of canvassing areas and recruiting people for militias in the hopes of building up a stronger army to prevent such incursion from outsiders again. Perhaps even with an eye for marching on perhaps one of her neighbors.
An eye.
Toria shakes his head. Ridiculous. Her own High Templar corrupted out from under her nose, and her response is to militarize as if that will fix anything. Well, it seems like we both have plenty of problems to deal with.
Shrug emote.
Yeah. There is one other point I would like to bring up. I have loyally served you in the matter of the Dragon Mask, and I would continue to do so regardless of this geas. Having proven myself thus, I ask your permission to remove it. I will continue to report, of course, and I will continue to research the mask and bring it back to you even if that is what you wish. But I do not feel a geas is required to do that anymore.
I can agree if you can tell me when it is that you will return to my city and help me against the Sorcerer Queen.
Where is Rome on the map?
A long way
I
away.
deleted it.
Oh, okay. So the nearest port is Fort Fordingsworth over here.
Fort Fordingsworth.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Fort Frogsworth? Frogtworth?
Watch, something watch.
Fort Watch. Fort Watch. That's what.
Fort Watch?
Fura,
Frog
watch?
Frog Watch. Frog Watch.
First watch.
First Watch?
I think it's First Watch.
Oh,
Fort
Fort First
First
Watch.
Watch.
Sure.
That's not like a public port.
Oh, okay.
Forts,
There's one here.
Yeah. Well, there's another one.
You gotta be friends with that
Bangkok.
person.
Oh, yeah, Bangkok.
Yeah, Bangkok.
Break Spike?
Brickshore.
Brickshore. Brickshore. So it's hard to read. It's hard to read the cloth map.
They
You're
are.
hard to read.
It is really hard to read that map.
Yeah.
Break short.
Now we all
Yeah.
thought the cloth map was a good idea.
It's great.
That one.
Brickshore.
Brickshore.
Yes.
That's a porty port, right?
Yeah, you could totally swim there.
It's covered in mountains.
Yes, that is a legitimate place that you could put in
And
with a boat if you had one.
all right, and Torio will briefly outline the rough plan, which is to go to Calendane and fix the pillar there, go to Balik, secure a ship, and then using the ship, head to the north, which was our plan. I mean,
Yeah.
we're heading that
In
way.
about 3 years.
I thought we had another location to hit.
There's like 1,000 things we
Well,
can do
that's
between
true.
there.
Well, he's giving the full list, but
Nanda accepts this and grants you her permission to break the kiss.
Toria bows his thanks. You have my thanks, and I wish you luck. It seems like you have your hands full, but speaking honestly, in terms of membership, your alliance is far better off than any other I've seen yet. I hope it remains that way.
Indeed so, but
Oh, okay.
But we're real bad.
You
is
just
the
hit
thing.
the
They're not.
8-hour mark.
they're not bad. They have numbers because they refuse to do anything.
Yeah.
So they'll probably get shut down. So they don't do anything.
Same.
That's why they were going after her at the ballot box, so to speak,
Yeah.
instead of trying to actually do something.
Yeah, I mean, that's the.
Here's the thing, they'll
polling
literally kill you if you do anything.
Yes.
Like,
Well,
problem.
I mean, we're all making fun, but fuck.
I would.
We found all those decapitated people in the woods.
Yeah.
well, if there's nothing else, I should probably let you get to your rest.
Indeed.
Take care.
Thank you.
And you as well.
Does Antori make that noise?
Of course.
No, that was the Skype in call sound. Oh boy. And since it's still awake, you'll go ahead and try remove curse on the Geas.
Okay.
Any difficulties, or is it worky work?
Simple.
Cool. Alright, Geas removed.
Worky work.
And then he'll switch his
Quite a
spell.
talent for that.
Indeed. Huh? Who said that?
Cleric sitting across from you in the tent.
I thought it was gonna be Tanger.
Yeah. Well, hello, friend.
I sound like this. Thank you very much.
That's right. That's right. We do have a voice for Tanger.
Sorry, I didn't expect you so late. Victoria has a very chagrined look on his face because he totally didn't even bother hiding what he was doing with that.
It's fine. You have nothing to fear from me.
I still can't believe I was that careless. I must still be exhausted.
Clearly been through a great deal. Dealing with friends.
So. Well, good night then.
Pleasant dreams.
Just like
I didn't just watch you while you sleep. So, what do you think about the sun? It's pretty great, huh?
Toria will try to find an hour early in the morning or sometime when the cleric is either gone or clearly
He'll actually get up and go out to sleep in the common area to give you your space.
Oh, cool. And Toria will switch his spells back to what they were for the most part, with the one exception of haste, which will be replaced with hypnotic pattern. If I can ever find my spell list again.
Sure.
So help me sleep.
Only for a minute. Cool. Okay, that's all the Antoria stuff for the night.
The next morning comes, and as you emerge from your respective sleeping places, you can see that there is a village alongside a silt river, as it were, coming up on the horizon.
Cade is just a mess. Like, he clearly slept really badly. Like clearly unbraided his hair at one point and like started braiding it again and then just gave up. So it's like just
Has
a few
grown, like,
pieces.
5 weeks.
Yeah, he's just like he looks 30 years older.
Yeah,
So it's just like bound back
You have like
sloppily.
prayer lines and just...
Yeah. I'm
There's
staggering out.
spirit everywhere.
Yeah, I had a good cry last night.
You look like hell. What?
What? I'm fine.
Give me an insight check.
18.
He's not fine.
He's not okay.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, well, look. You're alive, right? No great lightning bolt striking you down, no angry lion roaring in the sky.
No, it's not that I think that I'm of no use or anything like that. I just... I mean, I don't even know what he... This might have been very important considering the stakes. I didn't understand what Marvin was.
One thing I've been wondering about. When did he tell you to do all this?
In Rom, when we had to retrieve Marvin. That's why I spearheaded the operation to get him back.
It's been like 50 years since we were there.
It hasn't been 50 years. We had to move to Tyre to secure the pillars anyway. Getting us through Draj was going to be a logistical pain. Just trying to make it sure that it meshed with everything else that we were doing.
I mean, we were right there.
We weren't that close, were we?
Draj
We were
was
actually right
literally
here.
on the
Okay.
other
Yeah.
side.
We are now here.
Yeah. Yes, I'm aware of the geography of our
Like, you
world.
literally did exactly the opposite
I
of what
didn't
Alani told
do
you.
the opposite of what he told me
There's
to
not-
do.
That's when he breaks the sword again.
Yeah. I do
Not
point-
helping here.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Zora kind of walked into the
I'm
tent.
just kind of befuddled.
What a great day today.
Well, you're not all there, so.
I'm not.
We had a number of things that we had to secure through those other city-states. I pushed for us to move to Draj from there.
You did, but you were new to the group and you were outvoted, to be honest. Unless...
What a mistake that was.
Indeed.
Was it?
Oh, I thought I was helping now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Let's go get some supplies and head to Calendar.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Alright. Well, I guess. I just realized I no longer need a temp hit point category on the back of my.
But you do.
You'll get them from.
No, you give real hit points.
That's true.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can hypothetically do that.
And
I've never
I
memorized those spells ever.
I only
Give
give.
an inspiring speech as well.
I only give 15.
Only.
He used to give 17.
Anyway, so how long does it look like before we reach the village?
It's only a couple hours, as a matter of fact.
Alright.
And I will cast aid before we get there. So we get the extra HP.
Hooray!
15.
You're super healthy. Ready for that barroom brawl that we inevitably will get into.
Oh my god,
That
that's
might
not
be
gonna happen.
that might be less of an issue.
We need to
now.
stop going to bars. What good has ever come from us going to a bar?
Literally none.
I got turned into a pig.
That was awesome, actually. That
Batman.
actually was excellent.
Batman.
That's right, Batman did do that.
Poor Batman.
Really believed.
Yeah,
That's...
but not man.
Well, after a couple of hours, the caravan comes to a stop at the village of Ledopolis. South Ledopolis. On the shores of the Great Silk Estuary. Hang on, I got flavor text. Oh.
Flabber.
What flavor is it?
Sand.
Our favorite.
It's all sand.
I see green stuff.
Yeah,
That's green sand.
the Crescent Forest.
You've eaten every one of those beans, you know full well it's just green sand. Oh, the twin towns of North Letopolis and South Letopolis sit on the shores opposite the island of Lido, not the LAPD. These are dwarven villages, and a great many live there, thousands in fact, engaged in a great project, the construction of bridges to span the north fork of the estuary and replace the silt skimmer ferry that goes between the two cities. Towns, not cities. These are known craftsmen's hubs where many of Balik's exports are actually created. Like most of the villages on the way, all the way far as Altrak. It is officially part of the city-state of Balik, so you'll find Templars there periodically. But it's entrusted to a local government. Wyvern Slayer's doing $5. Why is it Times New Roman? Oh,
Was that
Is that his
message?
message?
No. Thank you, Wyvern Slayer.
Thank you. Peaceful dwarf village theme.
I know.
Yeah.
No trouble could happen here.
Well, there aren't dwarfs though, right?
There are.
No, they are. They're
Okay,
dwarves.
there are. Okay. I was thinking of the other moles. That's the other one.
There's
Moles are half human, half dwarf.
so it's not like exclusively dwarves, but there are certainly more dwarves here than you've seen anywhere else. They are certainly by far the dominant species in town.
And get this, they're hairless.
That's of what dwarves That's so Dark Sun!
They have no scales. That's my knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
You may proceed.
Did I have
That's it.
beards?
Speak again. They have no beards.
Well, I guess beards kind of suck.
No hair at all, I
It
guess.
would, yeah.
You know, the city is known for its craftsmen. It's a small chance, but maybe we should see if we can find the best of the swordsmiths and take Chivram by. Maybe he'll have a weapon worth the transfer, or maybe he. Well, I doubt he could fix it, but
Possibility.
you'd have to have some of the original material Chivram seemed to imply it was pretty special. And he also didn't know what it was.
I'm not
Well-
very fond of dwarves. I suggest we get our supplies and move on as we can.
Well, at the very least, we could figure out what Chivram was made of.
Yes, if we're in a
for
place with
future
master
knowledge.
craftsmen, we might as well see what they can do for our gear.
Certainly.
But
There
we
may
don't
be,
have to hang around and socialize. We have a lot to do.
there may be no point in going to Calendar if we don't have Shivram in working order. It'd be a fine thing to fight our way there, only to find we can't do anything.
I stand by what I said. I'm pretty sure, given, the task at hand, I think I can muster it. It's more a matter of interfacing with the thing.
Fair enough. But I would still like to try fixing you when we seem to be in a place where there's at least some reason to think it's possible.
As you like. Wyvern Slayer, of course, says that it sounds like Shivram is a little broken up.
Aha!
Oh.
Excellent. That cracked me up.
Anyway. Oh! How about that?
Bill's got jokes.
Cade and Zorak,
Singular joke.
Bill's got joke.
why not you two work on the supplies? I'll go with Marcus and see if we can find a craftsman suitable to fix our friend.
Very well.
Or make a new one.
What?
A sword, I mean, not a new you.
All right, we'll
This
handle
is very
supplies.
confusing to discuss. I apologize. It's
I
not a...
accept your apology.
Just keep quiet and we'll deal with the rest. Don't worry about it. Let's grab supplies.
Yeah.
Alright.
We will go get supplies at Huntington.
Alright. And I guess Centoria will go with Marcus and see if we can find the best of these swordsmiths.
Sure.
By asking around.
This is not so big a place as Eltrac. Eltrac had actually like multi-story buildings and stuff like that. High-rise noble villas and that sort of thing. But Let Up Fox is no less well protected. It's got just as thick a walls as firm armaments, particularly facing the Silt Sea, probably weary of giants. That said, the rest of the place is mostly given to artisans, merchants, and places for passers through to stay on their way either north or south.
If you give me a moment, go to the bathroom.
Ah, fair enough.
Ah!
Farewell, my companion.
I guess I need to follow and narrate what happens there.
That was in character too.
Actually, I guess one thing Antoria can take care of, I guess, while he's in the bathroom is Antoria wants to see if he can find any place that sells spell component type
It's a
stuff.
shocker.
Okay.
He's actually not looking for the Veiled Alliance this time, which is a slight difference from his normal thing. He's just
Sure.
looking for the components themselves wherever he can.
What are you looking for?
Whatever components he would need to learn the spider climb spell.
That's probably going to be kind of esoteric.
Well,
Like, usually that's like a web.
yeah, it probably is like a web for something like that. I mean, these are like.
A bitumen and an actual spider.
A literal spider. They don't have those in Dark
I don't know
Zone.
what bitumen is.
So
I have spiders.
you'll never.
I think it's a chemical-
We actually killed a spider earlier. You should
Like an
probably
alchemical reagent or something, I want to say.
In Dark Sun, they're called splitters.
Splitters.
Bitumen is a black viscous mixture of hydrocarbons obtained naturally or as a residue from a petroleum distillation. So it's like tar.
Ah.
It's what they use to make asphalt out of.
Gross.
Unfortunately, you're not going to find anything like that here.
It'll just have a spider shell.
Oh wait, Tar in a craftsman city? Like,
Not in this craftsman
Ah,
city.
okay.
You're really, there are definitely places that have that, but volcanic activity
Oh.
isn't like a widespread
Ah,
phenomenon.
fair enough.
There are definitely places, particularly east, where you think you might be able to find it. Definitely in a larger trade center like Balik, you probably
Okay.
would.
Cool. Alright.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, with that out of the way, and now we'll try finding the swordsmith, or the best one in town, in terms of crafting ability.
Sure. Well, given the state of the town, there's no shortage of individuals who are eager to prove that they are in fact the best swordsmith, mostly by shouting at you as you try and go into one of the other places.
hey, swords, hey!
But after a while, you think that you've narrowed it down to it's got to be like one of the top 2 swords guys, who is of course very impressed with what's left of Chevron. Oh, this is a prize, it is. Look at this, it gleams. It's like night sky.
Should have seen it when it was intact.
Well, can I take it off of you? I'll give you 150 gold for the thing.
I actually had something else in mind. We're rather fond of the weapon, but we're no smiths ourselves. Are you capable of identifying what it was made of?
This is quite a rarity, I think.
No question on that point.
I'm a talented individual. Don't mistake me. My brethren up and down the street certainly know what they're doing, but this is a bit of an antique, as it were.
That is true.
Not positive I have really the requisite experience to identify such a thing. I think you'd want to perhaps investigate an older professional.
Do you have someone in mind?
Can't say that I do, I'm sorry. Certainly one of the city-states might have something in mind. If you're in the neighborhood of Tyre, there's another dwarven village up near that way called Cleric.
Well,
Might be one of them would be able to help you out.
I see.
But if you're in the city anytime soon, ask around there. Might be less out of your way, as it were.
True. Well, thank you very much for your time and the information.
Get you anything else? I've got plenty of accoutrement for the discerning warrior.
Do you need something else to use while our sword is not exactly in working condition?
Marcus will eye around for any other good-looking great swords. That will obviously not.
Oh. Wow.
Anything come
Wow, you
close
moved on.
to-
So, as a matter of fact, there's not too many great swords. There are, requisite number of swords. Most of them built for small-size characters. But there are some impressive-looking pole arms and some axes and some great axes.
No, I think we're good here.
He tends to be a fan of rather large swords, sort of like this one used to be, but I don't want you to feel like your time was wasted, and Toria fishes around and comes up with 5 gold bits for the information.
Ah, my thanks. You've got a familiar look to you, I think.
Who, Marcus?
Why do you say that?
Every fucking half-try looks the same.
There's some common threads that run through a number of them.
I'm not actually there.
Who said that?
Getting supplies. he just ducks in real quick through a window.
Here's Cade. Remember, I'm racist. I mean, he is.
Wah, 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 wah.
It's been 30 years, I think, since I saw Gygus take the field.
Gygus.
I'd recognize one of his whelps anywhere.
How do you know Gygus?
My father fought against him 30 years ago. Surely,
It's been some time since I heard that name.
yes, well, still around, so I hear, still kicking. Not in charge of anything anymore, of course. The others got leadership of the Karaka these days, I think. Haven't been keeping up, have you?
I've been wandering. Have you seen any of them lately?
Oh no, they don't come around our place, as you might understand. Things have been not especially peaceful since that business.
Very well. Well, I mean you no harm.
And I you. But I'd take care here. There's many that still have scars left from those battles. If I recognize you, what's to say someone else won't?
Well, then perhaps I need my our weapon situation fixed sooner than later.
By the sound of it, perhaps so.
If you change your mind, you know where to come.
Thank you.
Have our thanks. Take care.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Well, let's go.
Sure.
Didn't mention you had enemies here.
Dwarves are in my past. Let's just say that.
The past has a way of waking up when we don't want it to sometimes. I've learned that myself recently. Well, hopefully nothing will come of it. We're not going to be here that long. I hope they found the supplies by now. Let's meet up back at the caravan and wait for them there.
Let's.
Sounds like we're heading back to the caravan to wait for these two.
Okay, what are you two doing?
Just drinking at a bar.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I mean,
Bar's on
I
fire.
already left.
Okay.
I'm going to Uric.
Well,
you have the mask and you're
Yeah.
taking it to dry.
Yeah.
Like, this is good enough.
Yeah, I
this is
think
Marvin.
this is about the same.
Yeah.
No, I mean we'd head off. We'd split up from them after we leave the caravan just to
Yeah.
go gather basic supplies and
Okay.
whatnot.
Probably like double the water we need this time, just in case after
Sure.
what happened last time.
Yeah.
so
Any pack animals?
water rations for the 4 of you will probably cost about 20 gold.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if you're interested in mounts, that'll depend on what it is you're looking to get.
Probably Kanks.
Make lots.
Yeah.
Zorak
Yeah,
would.
make a, you can get an individual make a lot. You need someone to steer it. But
Well, I'm a shipboat captain.
of course, you're not. You're not one of those.
Zorak wouldn't see the need. He absolutely thinks mounts are weird, that you would just ride food around like that. It's kind of bizarre.
What would Kanks cost us?
Kanks are like 2 gold a piece.
Oh, yeah. Why don't we get some of those?
They're great.
I mean, they're
Bugs.
bugs. I'm familiar.
Yeah.
No, I know what they are, but like, why wouldn't you take Kanks? They're basically camels, right? They're like the go-to desert travel.
They are the go-to. They're like ponies,
Yeah.
really. But they are also like camels in that they are like camels.
Yeah, they're ugly.
They
Stubborn.
can eat almost anything anywhere. They consume only a very little bit of water. You can actually sustain yourself on their honey if they have enough water to produce that. They do generally only ride 1 or 2 at a time. Certainly not a larger person or someone in armor. They're not much use in a fight.
Our other mounts didn't do too good against the boat, so.
No, I suppose not. No, if you wanted like a war mount or something like that, you would probably ride an Erdlu because that's going to be faster over short amounts of time.
I didn't take Cavalier when I made my character, so.
No, that's fine. Or an Inix. Inixes are really good pack animals. They're kind of like steer or yak or something like that, and you can load them up with lots of stuff. And they can travel across pretty much any kind of terrain.
What's an Inix cost us?
An Inix will cost you 10 gold.
10 gold, okay.
Tankerous Kanks or.
Yeah, well,
Incredulous
No, that's the other
Inixes.
thing is Kanks are super docile. They will obey orders, no problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we didn't have good luck with our Inixes, but but it sounds like, especially to carry Marcus alone, we wouldn't really be able to toss it.
Marcus will not fit on anything smaller than
I'd
Inix.
buy 2 Kanks, and he can lay across them.
That's the reason you could also.
Can I just
We're
stand
not gonna do
so
that.
foot
Let's
on
just, so we're just gonna do.
other actual options. You could get a chariot that is drawn by a bunch of stuff. You could get. That's the chariot.
Just get a cherry
I
for
think,
Marcus.
I think
Yeah.
we're just gonna get, so it'd be 30 gold apiece to get rations and Inixes for each, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and do that, and we'll just charge you guys when we get there. So just
Okay.
go ahead and mark off 30 from everybody.
Alright.
And Toria kind of looks a little embarrassed. It's like, I thought we were clear on my gold situation.
I'll cover it.
I can take care of it.
I'll get that.
We can split it.
Fancy statue you could
Sure.
No,
So
yeah.
10 an extra 10 each.
45.
That's
for
where it all
everybody.
went.
How did your meeting with your friend go?
Well enough. She gave me permission to remove the little problem, though I agreed, of course, to continue working on it.
Of course.
Also, you need to drop it off back there when we're in the area again.
I'm not thrilled to go back.
Unfortunately, on that point, I should probably wear it. It's kind of hard to study the thing when no one's wearing it, when trying to use it.
Suppose that's true. Is that?
I mean, his face already looks like a skull. What's it gonna matter?
I mean, it wasn't exactly.
I'm hoping I can control its more undesirable aspects a little better than Marvin ever dreamed of trying to.
If anyone here, he's the most qualified to make use of it. And
No,
we have a
that-
perfectly good tool. Why not use it?
Have you seen it? You haven't.
Can't say that
But
I have. Well, I have,
the
actually.
one, yeah, well, you don't know that. Like the one moment that you saw the results of it, you actually went briefly insane. So I don't think that you would actually like it very much.
That was the thing that created those abominations.
It is. So yes, we have the tool. Why don't we just use it, Zorak?
I'm hoping that I can keep it from doing
Better
that.
every day.
In theory, Marvin was able to control the things it made. Maybe that control extends to simply not making them in the first place. Then too,
Then your intention is to wear it to study its powers, but then to suppress its powers.
at least that one. We already know that much about it. It does that rather undesirable thing. It doesn't need to do it any further.
I mean, you remember its relations.
I'm well aware of it, but the Alliance and Rom may need it soon.
You know,
Yeah, they were
we're all-
doing a
we're all
lot.
friends here. If you just want to use the evil artifact, you can just say so.
Avalok Ray is preparing for war.
With whom?
That's hilarious.
A great question, and it's not so hilarious. She's actually taking the matter quite seriously.
No.
Uncharacteristically
But really,
seriously.
what? Are you serious?
I had this information from
From who?
she herself. You know her.
Avalanche Ray.
No.
Traitor!
They sent you a letter. You just got first name basis with all the kings and queens.
The same letter Kate got from
With
Hamana.
Nanda, our friend.
Oh, right.
And Rom.
The Veiled Alliance.
And what are they planning to do about this?
You may remember their previous solution to that particular problem
I
was...
remember their lack of solution, yes.
Apparently it involves the mask. That's about all I know. They're
Just-
willing...
Sorry, backing up. I knew that I would be quiet, but I really want to just hammer this home. The leader of the Veiled Alliance told you that Avalanche Ray is building an army. And you, Antoria, believe her.
Is there some reason I wouldn't?
I'm gonna say the words over. Someone from the Veiled Alliance told you Avalanche Ray. What did you call her? Snooky?
Is that a
The Snooky of the Tablelands?
I don't remember
The
using that.
queen of the party capital of the world?
I understand how ridiculous...
What's your army made up of?
Apparently, conscripts in
favorites.
the...
Makeup cases?
Party favors.
Look, I know how it sounds, but why would she tell me that if it wasn't true? She can analyze that much for herself, whatever you think of her. She knows what an army being raised looks like.
Maybe she wants you to bring the mask back.
Well, of course she does. It belongs to them.
I mean,
And they think they're going to employ it against the Sorcerer Queen.
Well, it's at least a better idea than their previous one. Give them that much.
Well, it will result in their death, which I suppose is a positive thing.
Look, the mask is theirs. We owe them. They helped us when they...
where is it right now?
Victoria looks in his bag and makes sure it's still there. Is it still there?
Yeah.
It's right here.
Oh, so it's yours. Wait, stop, thief! Oh my goodness!
Shiprom?
Templars! Arrest this man!
Shiprom!
We should
You get
break
my
him more
point.
often.
Shiprom?
You get my point.
I get your point. Do you remember when I dispelled a Sorcerer's Queen's trap that was cast upon you by Lilith, whatever her name is, herself? Do you remember that? Yes, that one.
Lolly Lulilo.
Do you remember that moment?
Generally,
He did put himself at extreme risk for your safety.
I'm not ungrateful for that. I
You
just don't want him to. You're smarter than this. I'm your friend. No, like really. Think about it.
I mean,
At least verify the information.
does she think she's going to march on Yorick?
She didn't specify. It's hard to imagine what other target there would be, though. I mean, she and Yurik have been at war.
Oh, I'm aware.
She, if I recall correctly, Rom hasn't gone to war with Yurik ever since Yarmouk was destroyed.
Yes, wisely so.
I admit, I have my issues with the Veiled Alliance.
I'm just saying.
Do you believe them capable of raising this mask against Abelatore and actually making any sort of impact?
Not likely. Then again, King Kalak was defeated. And if there was a sorcerer queen who is almost as incompetent as he was...
Well,
Still,
Antoria,
your point is taken. Maybe verifying it would be in order.
Antoria, I'll support you in whatever you decide in this matter. But if your allies are intending to destroy Abelatore, then let me bring her head to Yorick.
I'll let you guys do the work.
Yeah.
But let me take the credit.
Okay, please take a look.
Zorak's gonna interrupt here.
Yeah.
Look. This is not something we have to do now. First, we have a priority, and that is getting to these ruins, finding the tower there, and seeing if we can even do anything to these towers anymore. That's our first priority. Then we can
Fair
figure
enough.
out where to go from there.
Let's head out then. We've done enough here.
And
I just felt like things aren't right lately, and an offering would not be out of place. I'm so sorry.
I hardly know what to make of you all sometimes. Let's go.
Friend, are you having theological problems?
I'm not having theological problems.
Have you considered
You having a crisis of faith?
Do you know about Water's plan for your life?
I know this great friend who could help. It's called Water.
I love this guy.
I guess we're heading out for Callan Day then, if
Sure.
there's no
So,
interruptions.
actually, I guess we kind of know the rough map. Which
You guys
way would
all-
be best for us? Would it be better for us to go this? Well, I guess it's up to us. Do you guys want to go this way, or do you guys want to go back around that way, or kind of cut through these mountain passes? Because we have to get. So we're here, and we have to get all the way over here. So there's two different major paths we get, or we could try and cut through the mountains. But
With what happened in Alterac, who knows what that area is like now.
Yeah.
Probably better to avoid it and head around by the south this time.
Mhm.
It's also probably just a little bit closer. Although, is this a valley here, or are these like a solid mountain range?
It's not clear.
who
Ah.
knows?
Well, if it's not clear,
Well,
we'll stick to the road and
The
head
roads
south.
are more than likely safer than just heading off into the middle of the desert waste.
Particularly the roads in the south, away from Alterac and whatever residual effects of the dragon's pointless behavior
Alright.
will be.
Path is decided. So we're gonna travel along the roads, the crossroad here, not go to the fort, and head down. I guess we'll have to pass. What is this?
Oh no.
Soy
Soy pathway.
Soy Thetis.
Selic.
What?
No, I don't think so. Not in this one.
Fort
Oh, it's a fort.
Fort Thetis?
Oh, that's
Thetis?
right. It's actually probably been rearranged in that one.
Fort Thatis?
Well, that's not the way that it looks, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
It's cloth map. It's generated without satellite technology.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna take the road around south of the mountain pass.
That sounds good to me. You guys continue on back towards the west, towards the ancient city of Caladan. Resupplied, re-innexed. Down a Pyrene, but with a plan in mind and ready to cross whatever Lion King guarded bridge may lie ahead of you when you come to it.
Well, Marcus wants to keep a close eye on the water. Make
Yes,
sure there are no.
you guys are especially diligent, checking in perhaps more often than you regularly would, but it seems to be as intact as it would ordinarily be. You guys are keeping up with your rations responsibly. And you're passing a number of ruins, you're passing a number of places, perhaps more so down here, down south, further away from the city-states, where there's more places that look less like places that have been turned into makeshift villages, and less forts that have been placed along trade routes and stuff like that. After all, you're going to a city-state that hasn't been operating for hundreds of years, so they say. So there are lots of places that seem as though they haven't seen visitors in quite some time.
It's just deadlands down here.
Yeah, did this like whole area just kind of die out because of that city going into ruins or whatever?
I mean, not necessarily. You guys haven't. You guys maybe have like 5 days between Lidopolis and Calatane. Guesses are correct based on the shoddy quality of the map.
The one we can't read properly?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, reading is illegal.
Reading's illegal. You're under arrest.
The desert police are going to pull us over.
I mean, I'm literally the desert police.
Well, desert is right, perhaps more so than the scrublands and the rocky badlands that you've seen up north. This is really proper, like, Saharan dunes and stuff like that. There's still a road. You can still tell, like, okay, there's clearly a path, and there are people, perhaps, that trade back and forth here. Lots of shepherds, lots of nomads, that sort of thing. Folks that definitely seem to be more wanderers than settled folk. But it really is just desolate. There's this endless just hill leads off. Until one day, maybe about 3 days in on your journey. Yes, Victoria.
There was one quick thing I wanted during long rest.
So this is maybe at the end of the first day of travel?
Yeah, it'd be the end of the first day of travel. When Marcus goes to sleep, he has an interesting dream where Antoria starts trying to teach him how to read.
That's illegal. You're under
Nice.
dream arrest.
Still interested in learning?
Certainly.
Alright, then every day, unless we are interrupted by something on the way, Antoria will use Dream to start giving Marcus common literacy lessons.
So, I applaud this. Can you get a long rest if you're using Dream?
If I used it for the entire duration, no. I'm assuming these are like 1 hour lessons so that it's following under the 1 hour of light
This is very
activity.
dumb too, so maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a college class, you know, like you get 1 hour. It's like one of the short ones that you take every day for an hour.
I didn't go to college.
What's college?
College is illegal.
What is what is
Just talking.
You're under desert
Oh,
arrest.
I'm just lecturing you about Snooki.
wait, no, this is Eric's son, it's Coleg.
Get out of my house.
It's Colgate.
What have I done?
Welcome to the dark sunsetting.
So Dream, when the caster is using it, is a trance. I assume that's a fairly light activity, I hope, once you're actually in it.
Sure.
Okay, so 1 hour of it should be okay for resting.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay, so 1 hour a night whenever we're traveling, basically, you get 1 hour of education time on learning common, yay, or reading it.
So, why not just take him aside for an hour?
Yeah.
Well, that way he can sleep.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point. There's no stopping Marcus from sleeping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. We'd be able to teach
Why do you
him.
think this hasn't worked before? He always goes to sleep like
Yeah.
immediately. It's
Marcus,
like,
the dragon's here. What do you want to do?
We can just assume
So
that,
hungry.
that he's tried before, and as soon as he like broke out a book, Marcus was just like that, just instantly out.
Excellent. Well then, yes. After the first night passes, you maybe know your A's and B's.
Bah.
That's a arrest. I put him under arrest.
he just said it.
I grapple Marcus.
House arrest.
You do understand, his point is valid. This is highly illegal in every city but Tyr. Granted, it would be hard to prove that you were doing it at random, but don't read anything in a city.
I'll do my best to remember.
Fair enough.
Should put a contingency spell on.
You should write it down for me.
Things I'm not supposed to do in a city state.
Attached to it.
Yeah.
Don't read.
Stop.
Give me a perception check, everybody.
Okay, site-based.
Yeah.
Is this at night?
It is not. It's the middle of the third day.
15.
22 and 14.
20.
21.
21. You guys have all done well. You are all privy to a most peculiar sight.
Blackjack.
It's Snooki.
It's not.
She's like, it's so fucked up right now. Where am I?
It's a dragon. Just kind of walking up to you.
You know the way to Rome?
I run her over with my boat.
Dragon's like,
2
so.
for 2. I'm running over to Sorcerer Queens.
You're on the peak of a particularly high dune, and you're taking just a moment to catch your breath. You can see, indeed, there are some mountains up ahead of you. There's some ruins. Maybe not the ruins you're headed towards, but just scattered bits of ruins here and there. Nothing quite large enough to be a city. There's something else. There's something peculiar off to the south, where after about maybe 20, 25 miles or so, the desert stops. It simply ends. There's just a harsh, jagged, crystalline shine of black.
This is what direction from us?
South.
Knowledge nature?
Knowledge nature works.
Or history?
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 History could also work.
Ooh, pretty good actually.
10.
21.
21.
Yeah, on nature.
21. You got a 10 for history.
Yeah.
Let me see what I got. I mean, I know what it is.
I hope you do.
I do. I absolutely do. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, there we go. A great plain of broken black obsidian interrupts the monotony of the endless sand dunes. The obsidian differs throughout the plain. It can be smooth and glassy, low and razor-edged, or scattered into jagged chunks 20 and 30 feet tall. Here and there, bare hillocks rise above the obsidian waves, crowned by a clump of hardy bushes or a small tree, or half-buried remnants of city walls jut out of the glistening glass like the bones of a creature that died in a tar pit. During some ancient war, some horrible battle must have happened here. Perhaps a defiler of awesome power broke the world's skin and left only death in its wake. This continues on to the horizon from where it starts.
Zorak will press on and just let everyone know that there's
Zorak
some...
just literally turns and leaves.
Just go-
Fuck it.
we're done.
Did we hear about a place like this?
We did.
Yes, we did.
There was a great defiler here.
Furistes said
The Black
took-
Plains, or
The Dead Land.
the Dead Land, is
went
what
to
I
a
said.
place called the Deadlands. Is this that place?
It must be.
Quite possibly. There was definitely a great amount of defiling here. Someone very powerful was once here.
Maybe even Rajad.
Wouldn't
Or the
that be
dragon.
ironic?
At any rate, it's not our current destination, thank goodness. Let's continue.
What did Furisty say about the death? Out of character. What did he say about
He
that?
said they took. I think he said they took Slither and made that and went down there with it. It's their base of operations or
Yeah.
something.
Ah,
That's where
okay.
the Far Heralds are based out of. We
Yeah,
didn't say
I
anything
forgot
about it itself, just it as a
Yeah.
location.
Marcus would like to, as we continue on, look for potential
Great swords.
shards of obsidian or anything to
Sure.
collect the material.
There's not so many here from there necessarily. Give me a perception check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So
Find an obsidian greatsword.
you do find some, but it's not random shards or anything like that. Instead, what it seems to be is perhaps a weapon that someone has fashioned from out of it that seems to have been left behind.
What kind of weapon?
It appears to be a halberd of some kind. Give me a history check.
14.
It looks as though the sword that the Karaka manufactured.
This halberd is made by my people.
Your people. What does that mean?
Well, I came from somewhere, didn't I?
You've never mentioned it.
So he clearly didn't.
Is that true?
No, I mean, I didn't realize that your people had any meaning to you whatsoever. I thought you were just a mercenary.
Well, I'm part of them in my past. I was exiled from my Karaka, we call it. It's
Do I know
hard.
anything about that?
Give me a history check.
I'm not
I
good
do
at
remember you mentioning that once long ago back in Tyr, that you were exiled. You said no more about it at the time, but we hadn't known each other that long then. It was hardly a time for exchanging histories.
What were you exiled for?
It's a long story, but
We have nothing but sand and obsidian ahead of us.
The obsidian's not ahead of us. We're going perpendicular to it, I hope.
Thank you, Antoria.
Whoops.
the short story is we were at war with dwarves and seeking. We were currently at discussing peace talks with them when I discovered their plans for an attack on us. I foiled their plans, but ruined the talks, and thus it was perceived that I ruined the chance at peace with them. So I was banished and wandered since, seeking glory.
I see. Well,
Well, there could be no greater task than saving all of Athos itself.
They seem to behave about as logically as every other organized group I've ever heard of.
I mean, York's actually quite efficiently run.
That sounds great.
It really is.
Of course.
You exile.
Exile is a strong word for it, but it was more of an attempted murder. But not by the authorities of York, just by my sister.
If you were to just walk into Europe, you'd be fine.
Oh, you'll let this one slide, but not mine, huh? Yeah, next time he can teleport and get you out of the damn Sorceress Queen's bedroom or whatever the hell it
Maybe
was.
if he remembers to prepare that spell, he can.
Secretly, he's been a caster this whole time.
Good luck Misty stepping there to me.
Yeah! On my way!
There's worse ideas.
There are. But Marvin isn't here anymore, so...
Well, perhaps we should move along.
I don't like being within sight of this damn thing, although we probably will be for some time. Let's get moving.
So you think that'll serve as a replacement for Shivaram in the meantime?
So, just to be clear real quick too, are we it's in the middle of the road, so we're gonna have to go around it if we don't want to go into it?
What?
I thought it was south of us.
It's south of
It's
us?
south,
Okay,
yeah.
it's all
We
Yeah,
see it,
we're
Okay.
we're passing it by, but we're not headed towards it necessarily.
Just
Okay.
a point of interest, unless you're really interested in
Yeah.
going down. That's
Yeah.
We'll see it.
You have
We go down there,
Product
you-
resistance sets.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you'll encounter enemies too high for your level and you have to go back there later.
They're all skull level.
Yeah.
They're all actual spells.
Like, do you think that was a
Remember
replacement
that
for
one time
Shivaram?
where just skulls just poured out of the tower?
Yes.
You almost wiped us on that damn
Oh,
kill.
that's so good.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Flaming skulls.
That was a good day.
That was a scary ass day.
Let's go investigate Slither. Okay.
For the time
Yeah,
being,
that
I can
worked well.
resort to my smaller sword arms, but I will keep this as a memento, but also as a research piece, if you will, for the potential of obsidian.
Understood.
Research, and I've only been teaching you for 4 days. Impressive.
What?
Marcus' int is like 10, dude.
Wow, he's the second smartest.
Yeah, actually,
It's literally higher than mine.
I'm also a 10.
Okay,
I'm wise.
tied.
I'm very, very wise.
Alright, well, you guys continue on down into the mountains. Everyone give me a survival check.
I've done really well with these so far.
Very good at
I
this.
fail literally every check.
Oh,
Yeah.
22.
Rob's on your side.
Damn.
He's not.
9.
20.
Shut up. 14.
14. Well, given Antoria's know-how and Marcus's do-or-die attitude, you're
Intelligence.
yeah, absolutely. Able to successfully navigate the strange mountains you found this far south. Coming out of a pass, you see a strange, ghostly city lying in the valley below. Caravan. And we'll pick up there next week.
Cool.
Good game.
Good games.
Game. Bye, stream.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh goodness, there's so much to do. There's so many people.
So many characters to get killed.
It's gonna be wonderful. I'm excited. I can't wait. I hope you'll join us again next week. It's gonna be an awful lot of fun. Join us on Thursday. We're playing more Sherlock Holmes Consultant. That also is gonna be great. Really, just everything is wonderful. But I still miss round.
Oh.
But everything's great because we're going to continue on. I think it's, it's too bad that you had to go, but yeah, this was a lot of fun.
And it happens.
Just getting
It's life.
It does happen, and it's yet another sign of how lucky I feel to have a group like this, that we can just say our goodbyes and continue on, and the story goes on. I can't wait to see where it goes next.
Me too.
I hope you guys feel the same way. See you next time.
Later.